सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So yesterday we looked at the first 10 verses of this Arunachala Akshara Mana Malai poem by Ramana Maharshi to Arunachala. And now today we will look at verses 11 to 20. We will revise a little bit of verse 10 and go forward. But before that, let's start with praying Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. So let me share that. So why don't we recite the verses 10th to 20th first, and then we can start going over it again. Does it become thee thus to sleep when I am outraged by others, O Arunachala? Even when the thieves of the five senses break in upon me, art thou not still in my heart, O Arunachala? One art thou without a second, who then could dare elude thee and come in? This is only thy jugglery, O Arunachala. Significance of Om unrivaled, unsurpassed. Who can comprehend thee, O Arunachala? As universal mother, it is thy duty to dispense thy grace and save me, O Arunachala. Who can ever find thee? The eye of the eye art thou, and without eyes thou seest, O Arunachala. As a lodestone attracts iron, magnetizing it and holding it fast, so do thou hold me, O Arunachala. Unmoving hill, melting into a sea of grace, have mercy on me, I pray, O Arunachala. Fiery gem, shining in all directions, do thou burn up my dross, O Arunachala. Shine as my Guru, making me free from faults and worthy of thy grace, O Arunachala. Save me from the snares of those who are cruel and deceitful, and honor me with union with thyself, O Arunachala. So, yesterday we were looking at this verse 10th. Does it become thee thus to sleep when I'm outraged by others, O Arunachala? So the author, so the Bhakta, the bride, Ramana Maharshi, is telling to Bhagavan Arunachala, the bridegroom Arunachala, that these people, these others have taken hold of me, and how come you are sleeping? How is it so? So the Bhakta is accusing Bhagavan of not doing anything while these others, who are these others? Sense organs and the sense objects, the Indriya and Vishaya, are taking hold of me, and you are not doing anything about it. God, are you sleeping? So, in so the commentator, we are using the commentary by Dr. T.M.P. Mahadevan. It's a beautiful commentary. And he has given a little bit of vision of Vedanta, of what was the tatparya, or what was the intent behind these verses. It's beautifully brought out, and so we are referring to this commentary. Others, who are these others? These others are rivals to Lord, the senses and objects. and they drag me, the soul, the jiva, away from my true identity, which is I am you, Arunachala. This is my true identity, and these rivals, the senses and objects, they drag me away. Um, they belong to non-self. Who are these sense objects and Vishaya and Indriya are anatma. They are non-self, and they ought not to have any association with the self, with the jiva, but they somehow manage. And now that the bride realizes that in reality, uh, she knows the identity of her identity with Arunachala. So she is telling Bhagavan, while this is my true identity, while this is so, and while you are there in my heart, or I am there in your heart, how come you managed to let these folks in? Are you sleeping? How come you have not rescued me so far? Why are you being so indifferent? Why are you not doing anything about it? This is not fair. Lord Arunachala, you are all power, you have all power, and you have all capacity to save me. So please save me, please rescue me. So the bhakta, the bride, is rebuking the Lord. Are you sleeping? When something that intimately belongs to you is taken away, you're not doing anything about it. How intimately? Well, I am you. You are me. That is the closeness that exists between Arunachala and I, between the Bhakta and Bhagavan. So, this is not becoming of you that you allow such an act happen in your presence. This is, in fact, an insult not to me but to you, because you are the Lord, you are my Lord, and it is your duty to safeguard my identity, my honor. What is my honor? My identity, my identity, my identity that I am Arunachala. This identity is my honor, and it is your duty. You are the master. It's your duty to save that identity. So please do something about it. Uh, so we will start from the 11th verse today. Even when the thieves of the five senses break in upon me, art thou not still in my heart, O Arunachala? So the 10th verse said, are you asleep? There the bride is, the bhakta is rebuking the Lord. Are you sleeping, God, that you're allowing this to happen? That these five senses have broken in upon me and you're allowing this? Are you sleeping? Now, the bhakta realizes that God cannot be asleep. Who is God? Sarvadruk. He is the illuminator of everything. He is the illuminator of waking, dream, and sleep. Then, how can he be asleep? Uh, he illumines the presence as well as absence of everything. So, Arunachala, you cannot be asleep. You are the Sarvadruk, you are the Drashta of all the Drishya, of this Drashya of these thieves trespassing in thy presence. So, Lord, how is it that these trespassers have managed to trespass in your very presence? So here the commentator gives a good, beautiful definition of thief. Who is a thief? One who deceitfully takes away what does not belong to him. So, soul is not, I am not a property of senses. Yet these senses, they uh, take me away from you. They take me away from you by force and snatch away. So, our Are you not there in my heart? You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are there in my heart, are you not? So, how come you are allowing them to trespass? Because you are the illuminator of everything. You are ever awake. You are ever wakeful. You are all seeing and always sarvadruk. So, how come you are letting this happen? So then, 12th verse. One art thou without a second, who then could dare elude thee and come in? This is only thy jugglery, O Arunachala. So then now, so first the Bhakta accuses that, are you asleep that you are letting these people in? Then he realizes that no, you are Sarva Druk, you are the Drashta of everything, so you can't be asleep. So now, how should I understand this whole drama that these people have snatched me away? So, is now unfolding the Swarupa of Arunachala. Who is Arunachala? One without a second. Who is Brahman? Who is God? Who is Bhagavan? One without a second, where there is no duality, there is no Sat, as Chandogya Upanishad says. Uh, what is Sat? Sat is Ekam, Evam, Advitiyam. It's devoid of Sajatiya, Vijatiya, and Swagata Bheda. So, in you as such, where there is no duality, uh, how come I see all these things that whereas it's only you, there is nobody else, then how come these sense organs, etc., have managed to take me away? This is only jugglery. This is only your Maya. This is only an illusion, and only you can do it. That is the only way I can understand this. The Lord is called Taskaranam Pati, the Lord of thieves. So the thieves here are five senses, and Lord, you are you are even the master of these thieves. Taskaranam Pati. And so why do you play this Maya? What is the intention behind it? So that someday this Jiva will wake up from this intoxication, will wake up from the intoxication of taking something else as I, and wake up to the fact that Arunachala I am, or I am Arunachala. It is for this purpose you are playing this Maya. The third verse, significance of Om, unrivaled, unsurpassed. Who can comprehend thee, O Arunachala? So again, the stuti of Arunachala as the 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 param the param nama param abhidhana Om. Uh, so Lord has many names. Of all these, the most appropriate Bhagavan is in Bhagavad Gita and in Upanishad also. Om is described as the most appropriate name of Bhagavan because it has least qualifications. So it represents the Nirguna Brahma as well as it equally represents Saguna Brahma. So as Mandukya Upanishad says, Om has akara, ukara, and makara, and the amatra. So the akara is the waking, represents the waking state. Ukara represents the dream state, and the makara represents the sleeping state, the sleep state, deep sleep state. And the amatra uh, is from where these the three states they emerge. So this is the way one can meditate upon Saguna Brahma, or upon the Saguna aspect, and by meditating, by focusing on the waking, dream, and sleep, one meditates on the Saguna Brahma, and by focusing attention on the amatra in between the two Omkara, one is meditating upon Brahma as Nirguna Brahma. So Om represents both this Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma, and this indeed is your your name, O Arunachala. This is the appropriate name of Arunachala because you represent all of this Saguna aspect uh, of omniscience, omnipotent, etc., as well as you represent the Nirguna aspect because it is from you uh, all these uh, appear. In what way? Because you are the Adhishthana of all these qualifications. So this name Om is an appropriate name for you, O Arunachala. So again, stuti of Arunachala by saying that Arunachala, this Om, the name Omkara, which Bhagavan in Upanishad and in Bhagavad Gita has said, this Om is my name. Arunachala, this is indeed your name. So then we again come to 14th verse. As universal mother, it is thy duty to dispense thy grace and save me, O Arunachala. So again, coming to so from the bride and bridegroom, emotions are now to parent child relationship, because here it's just a bhakta uh, singing for Bhagavan. So all kind of emotions will come. It's not like a real bride is singing for a bridegroom. So just all kind of human emotions are outpouring from this bhakta who has this great, from this Gnani bhakta who has great devotion for Arunachala, and who is actually one with Arunachala, who knows Arunachala as, who knows the non-duality between himself and Arunachala. So again, he requests Arunachala, please dispense your grace upon me and save me. So God is compared with mother here again. And the commentator here says that we usually approach Bhagavan from human angle. We are humans, so all the emotions we know are in the realm uh, of what we experience as human. And so the best and the noblest of this emotion is taken here, of the human nature is taken here and applied to Bhagavan. That just as a mother is compassionate, uh, you are universal mother, O Bhagavan, O Arunachala. So please dispense your grace upon me and save me. You please protect this devotee who is your child. You are the universal parent, you are the mother, you are the father, and saving children is not an optional function for a parent. It is your duty. So the bhakta is reminding of the duty, that it is your duty. It is not that it's not that you can get away with it. I'm your child, and it is your very duty. So why don't you dispense your grace upon me? Hmm. Uh, so the devotee reminds God of what is but his duty. It's not an optional thing. It is God's duty to protect him. Uh, with that, uh, uh, so when this is the kind of devotion then this is the language we can use when the devotion must be so strong for Arunachala that uh, that uh, uh, Ramana Maharshi is able to tell as if he owns Arunachala. See how a child is able to make a demand from a mother or a father. In the same way, we are seeing that this Bhakta is making a demand of Bhagavan. That Bhagavan, no, that's not right. You are my parent, so that is your duty that you take care of me. It's not an optional thing. You cannot get away with it. So then 15th, again another beautiful verse. Who can ever find thee? The eye of the eye art thou, and without eyes thou seest, O Arunachala. See, Arunachala, who can ever see you? Who can ever find you? Why? Because you are the eye of the eye, as Kenopanishad says, uh, chakshushas, chakshuhu. You are the eye of the eye, uh, and without eyes thou seest. So our Bhagavan doesn't have any means to see, and it is the very adhisthana. So okay, I'm not going to. So eye of the eye because it is the very adhisthana, and it without eyes thou seest because it is the very self. Uh, it is not something to be seen as something as other, as Vishaya. Uh, it is, wait. So, because I have a bad habit of forgetting things, so I actually need a book to remember the shlokas. Anyways, so like Kena Upanishad says, Om Kene Shitam Patati Preshitam Manah Kena Prana Pratamash Praiti Yuktah. And to that, the answer is given. Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyat Vachoha Vachasau Pranasya Pranah Chakshushaschakshuratimuchyadiraah तेत्यास्मा लोकादमृता भवन्ति. So there in Kenopanishad, uh, the uh, the answer given is what is Atma? Atma or Atma is Shrotrasya Shrotram, the Deva which on account of which the prana and mana, etc., everything does their activities. Uh, who is that guided by on account of on which deva all these activities are functioning? So the Guruji there replies to the Shishya that it is Shrotrasya Shrotra. The answer you're looking for, the Deva you're looking for, uh, on account of which all these activities occur in our body is Shrotrasya Shrotram. It is Adhisthana. It is the very Adhisthana. It is the ear of the ear. It is the eye of the eye. Meaning, it is the Adhisthana of even the eye. So, it is actually the Drug Drushya Viveka being done here. It is the what kind of Adhisthana? It is the Drug. It is Adhisthana in the form of a Drashta. It is the seer of all the Drashya. Is it actually a seer? In terms of is there an action involved? No, it is just an illumination, just being. So here, Shrotrasya Shrotram, meaning it is Adhyaropa and Adhisthana. This kind of relation is enjoyed between between the functioning of all the sense organs, etc., in our body, and the one on account of which this functions happen. So that on account of which all the functions happen is the very uh, adhisthana. It is the very substratum. And what kind of substratum is it? Is it like a jud? Is it like an inert substratum? No, it is. It illumines everything. It's a conscious entity. It illumines everything. Uh, so and how? So by just its being, everything uh, gets illumined, and the sense organs, and they function in their corresponding realm. The sense organs, they reach out to the sense objects and do the corresponding functions. So just by being, this Atma manages to illumine everything. So it's not illumination in the form of an act, but it's an illumination in the form of being. So here we also have uh, Ramar Maharshi's comment on this. Huh. So who can ever see thee that are the eye of the eye and seest without? So you are the eye of the eye, you are the very substratum of everything. So everything else is adhyaropa. And how do you see? You don't have any karanam. You don't have any means to see, meaning you just illumine everything. There is no act of seeing. Illumining happens in your presence. Uh, so Bhagavan says here, Ramana Maharshi has commented on this. To see is to know is to become, and to become is to be. So just by your being, everything gets illumined. Such is your glory. So why don't you bestow your grace upon me, O Arunachala? Let's see if the commentator has to add anything to it. No. Yeah. So basically, Kena Upanishads, eye of the eye, one who sees without the eyes. And here, seeing is to know, knowing is to become, and becoming means to be. There is no going and coming. And why is that so? Because Kena Upanishad itself says there, um, in the third verse, because na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, no mano, na vidmo, na vijanimaha. There, the sense organs does not have their reach there. So the Guruji tells, stop knowing the self by reaching out, by doing something, uh, by some kind of action. So the Guruji uh, tells this mantra so that the mind of the Shishya would be put at rest, and he would stop from the activities of either acquiring or discarding. Heya and Upadeya are the two activities that we as humans do day in and out. And even when we are trying to know Bhagavan, we try to use this very approach of Heya and Upadeya. We try to gain something, try to meditate, we are trying to gain some vritti or visualize something. So the Guruji says that no, stop doing it. It is shrotrasya shrotram. It is the very adhishtanam, substratum of the very adhyaropa, and um, uh, uh, it is tad viditad atho aviditad adi. न विद्मो न विजानीमः यथैतदनुशिष्यात् अन्यदेव तद् विदितात् अथो अविदितात् अति. So it is different from vidit, it is different from avidit, it is different from vidit. So stop acquiring it, and it is different from avidit. It is different from vidit, so stop uh, discarding it, and it is different from avidit, so stop trying to acquire it. It is different from vidit, so it is not something uh, other than you. I'm surprised that how can I forget this. So I am actually referring to Swamiji's commentary, Pujya Swami Viditatmananji's commentary on this. So yes, the whole thing of you are other than Vidit and Avidit is that stop objectifying it. Uh, it cannot be objectified. It is not a matter of objectification. Whatever can be reached by sense organs, by the chakshu, etc., is something that can be objectified. This is not something to be objectified. So stop doing it. It is different from Vidit. So it is not something that has to be one that has been known is Vidit. Uh, it is okay. One that has been known is Vidit. So it is not Vidit. It is not known. Meaning, if you know it as this, as a vritti, as something other than you, then know that you have not known it. Then is it avidit? Well, no, you can't even say that you have, it is something that you have to acquire it, because it is self-effulgent, it is swaprakasha, it is your very self, it is you. So it is different from vidit and avidit. Stop objectifying it. It is not known as vritti. It is not unknown because it is your very self. Uh, Vidit and Avidit. It is Anya from Vidit and Anya from Avidit. Different from Vidit, different from Avidit. And so, who are you, Arunachala? You are the one who sees uh, the eye. Who can ever see that art, the eye of the eye? You are the eye of the eye. You are the Adhisthana, and you see without the eyes. Why? Because you cannot be objectified. You are swaprakasha. You are self-effulgent. You are being is your nature, and you are not different from me. Um, Only one thing is being. There cannot be two existence, two being. You are also being, and I am also being. So you are, I am you, you are me. So Bhagavan, uh, let me please realize this truth that this one existence, which is of the nature of being and not becoming, and that you are the truth, you are that truth, and I am not different from that truth. I'm not different from you. Please, please make me see this fact. So then, verse 16, we got quite hung up on Keno Upanishad. So I had to, when chance came, as a lodestone attracts iron, magnetizing it and holding it fast, so do thou hold me, O Arunachala. So now again, it is Arunachala is compared to magnet. So what does magnet do? Magnet doesn't do anything. Magnet is just being. And just by its existence, anything in close proximity that nails, it will attract. Is there uh, any effort on part of magnet. No, it is just there. And just like that, oh Arunachala, you by just your presence, I am standing before you. You please absorb me in you, just as that magnet. It attracts those nails in its proximity. So please holding it. Please hold me, oh Arunachala. The commentator says here, what is God? Who is Arunachala? Achyuta. Where there is no Achyuta movement. Achyuta. God is Achyuta. And yet his influence moves the devotee, the soul, who in turn seeks him alone. How? At the exclusion of everything else, of all the other ends. A single pointed commitment, a varanam. So again, this is a good example of magnet and nails. How should the varanam be like magnet and nails? There's no option. The nails doesn't have an option to do any other varanam when it comes in front of a magnet. So all we have to do is expose ourselves to a magnet. So reach out to Mahatmas when you look, when you find that the Mahatmas around you, approach them, do their seva, just be in their presence. Even if you don't do their, just being in their presence is like being in front of a magnet. And this is all we all should do throughout our life, and we should entertain this idea in our mind that God, even let the last thought in my mind, if I do not gain the oneness with Bhagavan in this Janma, then at least let the last thought in my mind be that I, in my next birth, be bestowed with bhakti for you, Bhagavan. And I always have this presence of Mahatmas, these Gnani Mahatmas, these Gnani Bhakta, like our Pujya Swami Ji, our Pujya Swami Viditatmananda Ji, who acts like a magnet, uh, in whose presence we just get attracted, and this is enough to come closer to the truth. So, uh, so again, Arunachala, please hold hold me, and uh, you please shower your grace, your blessings upon me, full-heartedly. So the soul longs to lose herself in the being of God. God. So again, she wants to give up her individuality, and she tells Lord that Lord, please take away my individuality and let me be one. Let me become one with you. And becoming means let me realize the oneness with you. So uh, the next one is again, unmoving hill melting into a sea of grace, have mercy on me, I pray, O Arunachala. So the devotee again here is praying to God that for nothing but so this prayer is for the blessing itself. So um, here sea of grace. Sea of grace is what is uh, it's the it's the praise, is the word of praise that the Bhakta Bhagavan Raman Maharshi is praising Arunachala as the sea of grace. That Arunachala, you are the sea of grace. Uh, so it's not that you will become empty if you shower a little bit of grace upon me. So why don't you shower your grace? You are there in front of me. You're not moving. You're just there, and there is all this opportunity to to for me to receive your grace. Uh, So you are unmoving hill and you are a sea of grace. You're an ocean of grace, such as your bountiness. So please shower your grace upon me. The next verse is also beautiful. Fiery gem shining in all directions, do thou burn up my dross or lowliness. That's another reading. Oh, Arunachala. So the devotee here appeals to Bhagavan, to the Lord, that Lord, please remove my ignorance, my avidya. So here the Bhakta is reminding Bhagavan of the promise that he has made in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. So surrendering everything, all dharmas, seek refuge into me alone, says Bhagavan, says Arunachala, uh, says Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita. I will release you from all sins. Do not grieve. So Bhakta is reminding the Bhagavan of this promise that Bhagavan, remember you made this, you gave this promise. Now I have actually surrendered to you. So why don't you actually execute that promise? Why don't you uh, make that promise true? And there is this another aspect also being brought about. uh, the dross. I burn up my dross. So in all directions, we see as human beings, we think God is uh, above and below, etc. This these are the concepts we use. So, but there is no sense of directions. There is no duality of space and time when it comes to Bhagavan. He knows non-duality. So the Bhakta is telling here that Bhagavan, I know you abide in your very Swarupa, which is non-duality, but I, as I am right now, I am taken, um, I am, my mind is deluded by this moha of space and time, by this duality, and I look upon things as up and above and below, etc. So why don't you remove all these distinctions? Uh, because in you, all these distinctions are not there. So only you, who are fiery gem, only you as such are can be are able to and would be able to remove all this duality, all these concepts, all this notion of duality in me. So, O Arunachala, I pray to you to please work upon me and remove all this duality and notions of duality in me. The ninth is shine as my Guru, making me free from faults and worthy of thy grace. So here it's the Bhakta is seeking Arunachala. Arunachala, be my Guru. Uh, be my Guru and make me free from faults and make me worthy of thy grace. So I do realize that I may have faults in me and I have to work upon it. And while I'm praying all the time to bless me, well, why don't you take this role of a guru? Because only a guru can by the teaching uh, remove the faults. What are the faults? Ignorance, avidya, kam, karma. These are the faults, and these can be removed. uh, the ignorance and the effects of ignorance can be removed only uh, by knowledge, and knowledge only a guru, from a guru one can have this knowledge. And so Arunachala, I pray to you, you take this role of a guru. So Bhagavan, my Narayan, you in the form of Guru, let there be none other than my Narayan, my Arunachala appearing to me in the form of this Guru and give me this knowledge. So I want this knowledge from none other than my Narayan. So let my Narayan take this form of the Guru, and which is what we have found in our life. So we should be very thankful that uh, we have our Swamiji, our Pujya Swamiji, as the very Narayan who removes our ignorance, who removes um, not only our ignorance, but wherever our faults are, wherever we are stuck, uh, he makes us identify that these are the areas we have to work on, and uh, only somebody very compassionate can do it. It is easy to look to make oneself look as all good, but here even at the expense of sometimes being looked upon as being harsh, uh, because the guru has to take those roles. Sometimes a mother has to deliver bitter medicines. So also a guru also has to take those roles and point out what are the flaws, what are the areas that the disciple has to work on. And so it is actually indeed Narayan taking this form of Guru. It is indeed this Arunachala taking this form of Guru and making me realize of my faults. And by making me realize my faults, you are making me free from my faults, and this is how you are showering up your blessings upon me. And so I pray to you, O Arunachala, keep blessing me. So make me free from all the faults so that I am cleaner, and so I come one step closer to knowing you, to knowing myself as you, to knowing this identity with Bhagavan. And the last one for today. So before that, I also wanted to say, so like we also do this prayer that in the form of Bhagavan, in the form of Guru, in the form of Atma, uh, it is one consciousness alone in all these forms. But as we as our ignorance gets removed, and as we our mind becomes purer, we come closer to this reality. So indeed, God, Guru, and Atma is one alone. Arunachala, Guru, and Self is one alone. And let me realize this vision. Let me dwell in this vision. So, you please, whatever flaws are there right now in this vision, you please remove that and make me worthy of thy grace. What grace? So that I realize this reality of the oneness between Arunachala, Narayan, Bhagavan, between my Guru and myself. Or I think we just need to understand the non-duality between two entities. I think so far all of us would have agreed that Guru and Bhagavan is one alone, and then so between Jeev and Bhagavan, uh, between Bhakta and Bhagavan, there is no duality. Make me realize that. The verse 20 is, save me from the snares of those who are cruel and deceitful, and honor me with union with thyself, O Arunachala. So here, our senses drag us away from the Supreme Self, uh, and we get captivated by the play of Maya. So, who the cruel and deceitful? Who is this cruel and deceitful? The sense organs and sense objects from the 10th verse. Remember the 10th verse, the thieves, etc. Those are the cruel and deceitful. So so please, Lord, just as I started some 10 verses back, please save me from this from this senses, from these cruel and deceitful who take my true identity. So please honor me with my true identity. Please honor me. What is my true identity? My union with you. My that I am Arunachala. This union is my true identity. So you please save me from these uh, these uh, these cruel and deceitful sense organs and objects, or this tendency of mine to get identified with them and be taken away to swept away with these folks. You please save me from there, and please honor me with what? With the identity with yourself. These sense objects make us their slaves and harass us mercilessly. So you save me from them. And who can save the devotee? Only Bhagavan. Only you, Bhagavan, O Arunachala, can save me from these thieves. So again, the devotee here appeals Bhagavan Arunachala to save her from this distress. And she's again pleading that if she could get united with her Lord through his grace, then there would be no harm. There would be no harm. No harm would ever happen to her. So, Lord, you please take care of me. I have come to your refuge. You please take care of me and honor me with union with thyself. So we'll close with we'll close with remembering Arunachala again. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ